With us now, Dr. Eric Feigl-Ding, Chief Epidemiologist, Public Health Chair at the New England Complex Systems Institute, former Harvard researcher. It's good to see you. Thank you very much. I thought this was an interesting, I don't know if it's a fair tease, but it was what we said going into your segment. Going after RFK Jr. is easy. Finding a way to prevent autism or finding the cause of autism is hard. Why are so many people taking the easy road in this fight to save children's lives?
Well, I think it is really tricky because we don't actually have the fundamental cause or behind all these autisms.
And we need to.
We need to. And this should be a bipartisan issue. We shouldn't be arguing about this. But at the same time, we should also recognize that, you know, the Tylenol issue has really exploded because mothers can't be having fevers. And because it increases the risk of miscarriage, it increases birth defects. So we need to find at the same time.
So I think there's a couple things here. One is there's a difference I think we can agree on of what President Trump said about Tylenol versus what Jay Bhattacharya, Dr. Oz, Marty McCary said about Tylenol, what the CDC is now saying about Tylenol. But then there is this, which is women now, pregnant women, even a pregnant doctor, taking doses of Tylenol to, well, take a look.
28 weeks pregnant, you know what I'm gonna take? Some Tylenol, acetaminophen. It's gonna work like a charm, and my baby won't have autism.
Look, we can argue back and forth about the evidence on Tylenol. Tylenol itself put out a tweet in 2017 saying it's not for pregnant women. But this just, I don't want to use the word disgusting. I certainly don't want to challenge a pregnant woman on her views or about her child, but it's almost like there are people who hate Trump more than they love kids.
Yeah, I think that kind of TikTok video is not productive at all. I don't think we should mock this issue like this.
So why are people doing it?
Well, I think it gets, in this world of social media, it gets hits, views, you know, a lot of influencers, promoters. It's really disgusting. But at the same time, you know, it is true that Tylenol isn't recommended for pregnant women, but the FDA process doesn't recommend or approve any drug for pregnant women, technically. So it's one of those things where we don't recommend it because the FDA doesn't allow us to recommend
well,
it.
so that may be a case. But look, I guess this is what I'm trying to figure out from science in the medical community that is supposed to be science in the pursuit of truth, not the truth. If you have to trade off 40 years of very little progress in finding the cause of autism for an admittedly over-the-top press conference about Tylenol, and now we can spend hundreds of millions of dollars starting from scratch to find the cause of autism, isn't it worth it? Why aren't people celebrating this discussion?
Well, I think it's definitely worth it. And this discussion, if anything, it raises the awareness of autism, and that's very much needed because it is one of the things in which we have not devoted enough time. We found so many cures for cancer, heart disease, diabetes, but we don't have any miracle like Ozempic of autism because it is one of the most understudied, and I think we do definitely need that funding, but at the same time, we can't be cutting medical research across the country. Slashing, NIH budget is being slashed like 30–40% in the next government budget, and the universities are losing.
I'm not sure what the connection is between.
But I'm saying that the medical research, we need to fund medical research, but meanwhile, why is this Trump administration slashing medical research? We definitely need to do more research. We need to have a good debate around autism and finding the cause. But promoting a little scaremongering mothers about Tylenol right now is not the way to do it. Now, I'm glad the discussion is here, but I think mothers need a way to stop their fevers. And, you know, if
I don't think
Tylenol,
taking
we don't really have as
right, but no one's taking that away. And I guess this is, again, I think this comes back to a level of Trump derangement syndrome as evidenced by the woman who said she's a doctor and taking Tylenol to prove some kind of point. We've asked her if she wants to come on. We don't know whether she will. This is acetaminophen headlines in the past. This is from CNN, ABC, scratch that, 2026. Acetaminophen use during pregnancy linked to childhood behavioral study finds. CBS 2017, acetaminophen during pregnancy tied to ADHD risk in kids. CNN 2021, common painkillers should be investigated for possible risks to developing fetuses, experts say. Nobody went crazy when those headlines all came out and said, oh my God, you're killing mothers. But now if Trump says it, it's three alarm fire.
Yeah, actually, I've been worried about acetaminophen for many years. And for many years, there are a lot of studies that actually show acetaminophen, Tylenol did increase risk in some of those studies. But what all changed was in 2024, a landmark study in Sweden, 2.5 million children found no increased risk. And that was the most comprehensive study. It was published in Journal American Medical Association. So that almost puts the debate to rest. But
is the debate in science? No, I mean, I think this is an important point, though. And to make my point, I'm going to play Dr. Bhattacharya, who was on the program earlier. Sure. Take a listen.
It's so hard to get an honest conversation because I'm pretty sure that it's probably not going to be vaccines as the cause, but by saying that, I'm acting as if I already know for a fact. In fact, I don't know why the rise in autism has happened. I don't know. I don't have an answer to that. If you asked me to pin down one thing, I wouldn't be able to tell you.
He's right about that because we aren't able to pin down one thing. And I think one of the things that people are learning that autism is a spectrum disorder, and there's 100 different causes for 100 different people who have autism. It's really hard to pin down. It's
all the more reason to do more science.
All the more reason, absolutely.
Okay.
And we should do more science. And right now we should resolve these differences of why those older studies didn't show it and why this landmark 2.5 million person study did debunk. Right now there's no association. We're trying to put this to rest, and I think we definitely need more research on this.
Doctor, it's good to see you. Thank you very much. As I mentioned, full disclosure always, when I began this segment, this story is personal to me. My book, Born Lucky, is out next week. My journey growing up with autism. My father refused to adapt the world to me, but instead worked to adapt me to the world. And the lessons in the book go far beyond autism. To all parents, whether it be kids suffering from autism, ADHD, anxiety, bullying, physical disabilities, to every parent, every grandparent, anybody who has a kid struggling in their life, this book will give you hope. It will change how you look at what parental love can do. Set your DVRs for Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern, for our special on NewsNation. The book's going to be controversial. I know that. So I brought in Bill O'Reilly to ask some tough questions about it. So we'll flip the script, and Bill O'Reilly will be talking to me on Sunday night. NewsNation special Born Lucky is out then.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.